Welcome back to DEGREELESSNESS, everyone, your favorite unhinged and slightly damaged collection of cruelly twisted game and culture critics. I'm your host, 21st Century Digital Boy, trusted member of the media, and of course, the people's champion, Shanghai Pete. Thanks for chilling with us tonight. We've got just a quick update for you on the super fun dick circus, otherwise known as WARCRAFT 3 Refunded. Now, initially, I was against the idea of doing another video on the absolute travesty and downright criminal endeavor that is WARCRAFT 3 Refunded, but then I heard that some creators are actually being bullied and convinced to scuff videos and commentary about this, at which point we obviously decided that it would be more than appropriate and possibly a moral obligation to continue talking shit as loudly as possible about not only this game, but also about Blizzard themselves. Fuck you, Blizzard. So, there are two main things that we need to mention today, neither of which should come as a surprise to anyone with even a cursory familiarity with Blizzard and the way they get down these days. The first is what's going on with WARCRAFT 3 on Metacritic. It's fucking hysterical. And the second is Blizzard's possible violation of consumer law in some countries, and let's be honest, while that's certainly deplorable behavior, there is nothing surprising about the idea that Blizzard would do something like that. First things first, what's up with Metacritic? Well, let's just say that while Blizzard may have long since abandoned anything resembling an ethical, moral, or honest approach to game design, that certainly hasn't stopped them from continuing to win awards. More specifically, the award for the worst rated game in Metacritic history, with WARCRAFT 3 Refunded earning a still too high in my opinion, 0.5.
Sorry, I'm not interested in playing a game like this.
Congratulations to them, very well done indeed, boys. People, apparently, were so fucking livid at Blizzard's most recent attempt to insult and rob them that they actually went and upvoted WARCRAFT 3's competition for worst rated game ever just to ensure that their message would not go unnoticed. And good for them, by the way. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. Abused, deceived, and criminally misled customers should do anything short of breaking the law to hold companies like Blizzard responsible for their fucking conduct and products. I don't care if it's strongly worded criticism on social media, oh god, or review bombing. I still don't even really like that term, by the way, because it implies that there's something negative to publishers not being shielded from the effects of their misdeeds. Sorry, assholes, but you're gonna have to suffer some consequences, even if all we can do is spam your garbage products with well-deserved negative reviews. And also, while we're on the subject, I don't want to hear anyone whining about, oh, harassment online. Fuck you. Get a fucking life, pussy. If you can't handle people saying mean words to you on the internet, get fucked. I don't care. I have no sympathy for you. Shut up. You don't deserve to be insulated from the consequences of shit that you've fucking done. No one does. Moving on, we have something occurring here that's sadly become a normal part of the company releases broken, unplayable game news cycle that's far too familiar these days, and that of course is the gotcha, get fucked idiot, we've got your money now and we aren't giving it back phase, otherwise known as the disturbingly common refrain of companies refusing to issue customers refunds for the unplayable games they've sold them. Whether it's Fallout 76, Anthem, WARCRAFT 3, or any number of other games, more and more consumers are being met with pushback and straight up refusals when requesting their money back from these greedy, despicable fucks, and sadly, Blizzard is no exception, but then again, no one thought they would be. Now, whether or not Blizzard really does need to abide by Australian or any other regional consumer law, I can't say. I don't know. That's not my area of expertise, obviously. What I can say, though, is that at my day job, I work IT for an international company, and I'm frequently read in on issues that do involve consumer law, and in my experience, every single time, we are instructed to obey that shit. Does it work differently at different companies and for different services? No fucking idea, but my guess would be no, which is why, fortunately, looks like we're actually seeing a lot of follow-ups to these refund request stories saying that they got their money back, which is fucking awesome. Good. Keep hammering these motherfuckers and let them know we won't stand for this shit. Sadly though, the good news does end there, because the overall takeaway from this disaster is all too similar to most other situations like this one, and that's that nothing will change. Blizzard already made their money, which is of course all they cared about in the first place. I don't give a fuck if anyone likes the game, or if they had to lie to people to trick them into buying it, or if their forums blow up due to backlash, or even if the game is the lowest rated in Metacritic history. None of that matters. That doesn't mean we should stop speaking out or letting them know they're fucking up. That remains our only recourse and no one should ever stop. But the fact remains that by the time we get to this point in the cycle, the money's already been made and it's too late. Whether it's Bethesda, BioWare, Blizzard, or anyone else, as long as people are still believing the lies and paying money for pre-orders in exchange for valueless digital nonsense, they'll keep making their money and they'll keep selling us broken, incomplete games. Hope that stupid amount you got in WoW for pre-ordering Warcraft 3 was worth it, idiot. So, as I've said before many times, if you really want this to change, you have to stop buying anything made by these fucking criminals. Stop pre-ordering for fuck's sake. The South Park episode about that was years ago and y'all still haven't learned? The online outrage and backlash is all well and good, should continue, and these companies and their toadies fucking deserve it. But real change answers to only one thing: money. Or the lack thereof. Oh, and also, by the way, if you want to go back to the original version of Warcraft 3 and get this refuse off your hard drive, just go to the Pirate Bay and grab a torrent of it. Fuck Blizzard. Now, lastly, before we go, I hope you can forgive my brief indulgence on what's somewhat of a personal matter, I guess. Just what the fuck has happened to Jim Sterling recently? And yes, I know all about his support of sinister, self-proclaimed activists like Carlos Maza and that kind of bullshit. That's concerning and honestly probably related to the gradual shift in the tone of his content, but not really what I'm referring to here. Usually he's been pretty consistent in his support of consumer advocacy, but I just watched a video right before I started making this where he basically went over user reviews for Warcraft 3 on Metacritic and mocked the people that wrote them for apparently having the gall to be upset at Blizzard for ripping them the fuck off.
It's true.
I mean, while yes, as far as I can tell, the overall tone of his video was still admonishing Blizzard in their appalling behavior, and the smarmy glibness was likely intended to trigger people like me who are overly sensitive about customers getting raped by huge companies. Still though, I don't know, I feel like that could have been done without intentionally deriding people whose only crime was being upset at Blizzard for knowingly selling them an incomplete and broken game. I love you, Jimmy. You were one of my first inspirations in this industry, but maybe next time save the condescending admonishment for the nightmarish Orwellian companies deceiving and robbing their loyal customers and, you know, instead of the innocent consumers who are only guilty of buying a disappointing game that was advertised to them with intentionally misleading marketing. And yes, I know most of the outrage is vocalized in predictable, often laughable rhetoric that can certainly be amusing in some cases, but like, come on, G. I think these people have been shit on enough already. You don't really need to add to it. Anyways, thanks for indulging me with that. That's our show for tonight, though. Thank you so much for chilling with us. We love you today, and we love you all the way. Stay tuned right here for much more toxic bullshit and foul-mouthed customer advocacy coming up next week, tomorrow? Hard to say. I've been inspired recently, and it's been slow at my day job, so you never know when DEGREELESSNESS will pop up next, bitch. And finally, of course, you know the deal. Don't like, don't comment, and never subscribe, because it's not about how good you are, it's about how much worse everyone else is.